Pan-African Graduation Committee, the Black Graduate Caucus, Black Association of Princeton alumni, teachers, friends, families, and of course, the great class of 2007. I'm truly honored to speak on behalf of the graduating class tonight, so let me begin by being brutally honest. Princeton wasn't my first choice. It wasn't my second, my third, or my fourth either. The truth is, I didn't consider Princeton to be an option at all for continuing my education. My 12th grade English teacher, Mr. Collier, made me apply. Yes, I said made me apply. You see, I couldn't count Princeton as an option because I had been under the impression that Princeton wasn't for people like me. So when Mr. Collier told me to apply because he could just see me there, I said, see me there? Are we talking about the same place? Because the only black people I've ever seen at Princeton were Carlton Banks and Sandra from The Cosby Show. I didn't have a fancy private school education and $1 million estate like Carlton, so there was no way I was getting into Princeton. And even if by some slight chance I could change my last name to Huxtable and get my dad to start doing Jell-O commercials, I'd still be an outsider within, amongst the sea of Carltons and Sandras. And that was a place that I couldn't see myself being. Needless to say, when I got in, I thought the admissions office had made a terrible mistake that I would have to take to my grave. But nonetheless, when I arrived here, I was pleasantly surprised. I stepped on campus and saw and met people who were just like me. They weren't wearing pocket protectors or discussing rocket science, but instead, they were the people who grew to be my family away from home and are sitting before me tonight. So in the spirit of looking back and moving forward, I want to take you back to my first day at Princeton. I stood in the middle of First asking for directions to First Campus Center. And as I look out into the crowd, I see the strangers who helped me to find my way that day in First, who have become the all too familiar faces who have helped me to find myself at Princeton over the years. You all have been the community that I could talk to, turn to, and relate to during my undergraduate career. Together, we have stood in the presence of obstacles that at one point we were sure were insurmountable. Thesis. And we have all been elevated to unimaginable heights of success. What seemed so inconceivable then in 2003 has transmogrified tonight into an unforgettable journey amongst individuals who have only begun to make history. So how do I capture 4 of the most defining years of our life into 4 minutes? The answer to that is simple. I can't. But what I can do and what I will do is share with you all 3 valuable lessons that the great class of 2007 has taught me during my time here. I've never had a precept on these lessons, but with the people sitting before me as my professors, they're the lectures that I will never forget. Lesson 1. Even if you have no idea what you're doing or what someone is talking about, act like you do, with the greatest level of confidence. I learned about this in my first class with Dr. Cornell West. He was giving a lecture on Paideia, and he said something to the tune of, the profound and legendary scripture about double consciousness, which relates to the present day condition of black bodies fighting to overcome natal alienation and expand beyond the genealogical isolate of secular excommunication and dehumanization, both in time and out of time, to physically and psychologically rewrite the historiography of the African-American condition in America is the nucleus of what I am trying to say. Culture, social isolation, culture. This issue of connectedness relates to the feeling of being unhoused or in but not of. This otherness is symptomatic. In order to lead the people, you must love the people. In order to save the people, you must serve the people. What kind will you choose to be before you go under? I sat there thinking, I have no idea what this man is talking about. Was that question rhetorical? And going down under, when did we start talking about Australia? I sat up and looked around me, to my left, to my right. I saw many of the faces that I see tonight, and I uttered the most profound thing I could think of. That was deep. I didn't understand much of what Dr. West had said. He did say something later in the semester that made perfect sense. He said, "Do not confuse your career with your calling." And that statement was so resonant to me because of the second lesson you all have taught me. Know the difference between knowledge and wisdom. One helps you build a life, the other helps you build a career. Learning among this community has not only helped me to make sense of the academic skills that I've refined here, but you all have accepted me into a cultural institution that has taught me the social skills that will see me through life. And for that, I am forever grateful. The last lesson that I would like to share with you tonight may sound a bit cliche, but it is worth mentioning. As we called out names of people who have influenced us and have enabled for us to be here today, I heard someone call up Carter G. Woodson. And he says, the mere impartation of information is not education. And you all have also taught me that, and to always be prepared for the element of surprise. Once again, I'll be honest and I'll admit, I learned this also from my Princeton bill. The Princeton bill never fails to provide detailed information about how much you owe and when. And that's always a surprise. But after many bills and many phone calls from my mom about shopping sprees at the C-store on fruit roll-ups and olive cookies and Ivy Garden, I learned that the bill is an accurate indicator of the price of our education, but not the value of our education. And because of the body of extraordinary individuals sitting before me tonight, the value of my education has far surpassed the price of my education countless times over. To expound on the element of surprise, I'd like you to all turn to my mom and dad and say hi, who had no idea I'd be talking tonight. I promised that I would share with you 3 lessons that I've learned from the great class of 2007 and others that have influenced me during my time here. I can't help but telling you about a conversation that I shared with an alumnus at the 2006 Conference of Black Princeton Alumni. We were walking to a panel on Princeton life among Black students today. And I asked them, so, graduating 30 years ago, what was your Princeton experience like? He said to me, whenever someone asks me that question, I tell them the same thing. Princeton's a great place to be from, not a great place to be at. And although I value his opinion, thanks to all of you, I can wholeheartedly disagree. You all have made my experience at Princeton an even more, just as an extraordinary place to be from, just an extraordinary place to be at as it is to be from. So while it will feel great to walk through Fitzgerald gates in less than 48 hours and be able to say I graduated from Princeton University, you all, this community, will be the reason I find myself missing being at Princeton next year. It was here that we have grown intellectually, deepened spiritually, and widened our perspective on the world. It was here that I learned the true beauty of Princeton's world-famous architecture. You have all taught me how to build bridges that will last a lifetime, and you have all showed me that the campus's most marvelously constructed classrooms are in the conversations that we share. It was here that I have begun to build a life and not only a career. 4 years ago, I met some very special members of the class of 2007 from different walks of life. And today we will be stepping out of this room and into the world with the footprints of the new families that we've made in our hearts. We will be taking with us the unique piece of Princeton that we've all exchanged with one another. Sharing this experience with you has truly been a gift. Thank you, and God bless.